This game that we have before you is Shiren the Wanderer, which is a lot better than the other game, Shiren the Guy That Doesn't Go Anywhere. That game got old fast. He just sat at home. He was scared to leave his apartment. It was like Pong without a plot. Shiren the Guy That Doesn't Go Anywhere. It never got released. Never mind. This is Shiren the Wanderer because wandering is moderately interesting, because if you wander, you're probably going to wander into something. It's like somebody wandered into an anime. Actually, you don't have to leave your apartment for that. This is an adventure RPG style game published by Atlus. I always enjoy seeing what Atlus releases next. I'm hoping they do get around to eventually releasing Shiren the Guy That Doesn't Go Anywhere. I think that's on PlayStation 4 though. Really advanced game, uses thought processing and 4D graphics. Maybe in a few years. Email them and ask. Shiren the Wanderer is on the Nintendo Wii. Ooh, there's going to be a showdown. This is an adventure tactical RPG style game, where you wander around feudal Japan as the Ronin Shiren and friends, along with a talking ferret. Naturally. There's lots of adventuring and dungeon crawling in this game. If you play a lot of these kinds of games, you'll dive right into this with no problem. The gameplay is nearly identical to that Pokemon Explorers of Sky game for Nintendo DS that I previously reviewed. Even right down to the throwing rocks. I have no idea which series came first. Doesn't matter to me. This one doesn't have Pokemon. In fact, the storyline in Shiren the Wanderer seems pretty interesting. But for those of you who played the Pokemon adventure games and like them, check this one out. It should be right up your alley. The characters even get hungry, but instead of eating apples, you eat rice cakes. The gameplay in Shiren the Wanderer revolves around adventuring with some end-boss battles. You can store your money and items in the town before you go, and you might want to do that because if you get killed off, you don't restart the game or crumple onto the floor crying like you do in Demon's Souls. But you do lose whatever items you carried into the dungeon or forest with you. Some people will say that's a true traditional challenging Japanese RPG style. I think it's annoying. After spending 20 minutes or so crawling through the forest, if you lose or choose to just exit the dungeon and save your game because you have like a baseball game or something to go to, you lose your stuff. I made the mistake of doing that by accident, which is I think what really bothered me the most. I had to go, so I left the dungeon, saved the game, and when I came back to continue playing, it was like somebody stole all my stuff. So the trick is, just don't do that. At least if you die while you're fighting and lose your stuff, it makes sense, but that was just the worst. Coming back and it's like, where's my red bicycle? It's gone. So far, my favorite part of this game is the giant floating catfish of death. All I could think about when I saw that character is breading him and deep frying him. Anyway, don't let the item losing thing stop you from playing the game if you think it looks cool. It has floating catfish. Because the gameplay itself, as you can see on screen, is pretty good, if you like this kind of game. Everything we're watching is from fairly early on. Shiren the Wanderer is a sizable game. The enemies become far more challenging, as you might imagine. Centipede's Den? I can't fight you, I'm busy playing Centipede. You've got to give Atlus credit for publishing these kinds of games. They're not just the big, obviously popular mass-market shooters. I wouldn't expect everybody to like this game, but Shiren the Wanderer is a welcome addition to the Wii library of games. Those of you who own a Wii and want a good time-consuming Japanese-style RPG adventure game should enjoy Shiren the Wanderer. Well-made, entertaining dialogue. It doesn't take itself so seriously, which is cool, so you get some good laughs in there. And I forgot to mention one of the best features. This works with the Classic Controller, as well as just the standard controller for the Nintendo Wii. I like the Classic Controller. It feels like I'm playing a video game instead of waving a Nintendo Wiimote around, which sucks. And that's the game, Shiren the Wanderer, wandering from the comfort of your own home. So I'll see you next time, hopefully reviewing this game.